Hustle, good call yesterday, bro.
I had to say that it was a pretty value buy. I told the Degens to DCA into this one, but it looks pretty good.
I mean, it went up from what, $20 when you called it yesterday to $31.
About $22, $23 to about 31 right now. About 33% bounce.
Wow. All right, well, we do know that gaming is having a run after this little correction. And today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at the gaming tokens that haven't run yet, those that have run. And there's a massive announcement that happened in the gaming sector today, saying that might actually be a game changer, right?
Oh, definitely a game changer.
Sure. Okay. So for the next 20-25 minutes, we're going to be bantering about games. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a big show. Let's get the show going.
He's all about the DJ, baby. Crypto man. He's all about the DJ, baby. Uncle Ren's in charge. He's a crypto star. So savvy what he say. Fast money like a sports car. He's all about the DJ life. Make some money, change your wife. Big calls on the altcoins for the bull market hype. He's all about the DJ, baby. Crypto man. 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 Crypto man ran. Crypto banter. You got crypto questions, they got crypto answers. Jean-Claude Van Damme of the Banter fam. Could he kick it? Yes he can. Can he kick it? Yes he can. Crypto man ran.
Welcome back, guys. I'm Crypto Man Ran, and this is my third time here today. And this time, I come to you for a very special show. This is the best of the gaming shows. It's called In the Game, and it is with my partner, my sidekick, The Hustle. Jono, welcome, brother.
How are you today, Rand?
I'm very good. I missed your show last night, but I did watch it at home. And boy, oh boy, it was a great show. Great show. And I see that the calls that you made yesterday were fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, they were about 50% declines, and when you just look at accumulations and look at projects you want to get your hands on, Vulcan Forged, one of those, up 33% today. Verasity up 25% today, so very good to see two really surging coins that really took a good bounce whenever we called them.
So Verasity, I mean, you guys claim that it's a gaming token. I mean, I don't see Verasity that much as a gaming token, right?
So it is a mix between esports streaming and entertainment and esports competition with their Vera esports protocol. We covered it all on the show yesterday, but basically they recently integrated a big tournament protocol into their platform that also goes along with their watch to earn, along with the play to earn side of things. So I really like Veracity. And as we see, it was just at a point where if you're looking to get your hands on it, that was the time.
Listen, watch to earn, play to earn. If the market went down any lower, we would have had to go back to work to earn, which would have been that would have been really tough.
Yeah, you know, recently coming on board with Banter, that would have been tough.
So Hustle, first of all, guys, welcome to our channel. I'm Crypto Man Ran, that's Hustle. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe to our channel, because this is the one channel that brings you everything. We bring you technicals, we bring you fundamentals, we bring you gaming, we bring you amazing giveaways. And in fact, I think we'll do some giveaways today at the end of the show. If the Twitch guys don't cannibalize and jump onto our stream and just destroy. Every time I say the word giveaways, Twitch just explodes. So I don't know what. They go crazy. If you are new to the channel, subscribe. If you've been here before, like this content. Let's get Hustle Show trending. The only way to do that is if you guys like the content, the YouTube algorithm starts to understand this is a good show. And then it basically sends the show to everybody else. And remember, this is not a show for maximalists. This is effectively a show that is made for DJs. If you're not a true degen, then this is not a show for you. If you're a maximalist, this is not a show for you. If you're not a degen, then this is not the show for you. Hustle, let's get into the news of the day. I guess there's one big story that we have to cover today. I'm not a big gaming guy, but when I saw this, I thought to myself, hold on, this has got to be a big announcement. This has got to be a big announcement. It comes from Ubisoft. Tell me about this announcement.
Yeah, so Ubisoft, AAA gaming studio, notably they're behind games like the Tom Clancy series, like Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon, as well as Assassin's Creed, another mainstream AAA title. But Ubisoft announced today, well, they recently announced they were getting involved in blockchain games. That was their first announcement about a month ago. But now today, they come out this morning saying that they are integrating NFT items with their new system into the Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Breakpoint game. And this will all begin integration on December 9th. And yeah, if you want to play that video, I mean, this is next level. This is not a crypto game. This is not some sort of studio that just got started. This is a tenured. Ubisoft is one of the biggest studios in the world. They are coming out with their Quartz beta, which will be, as it says, playable and energy efficient Ubisoft NFTs. And just take a look at these in-game items inside of a AAA Tom Clancy game. And this is just year really one of this type of adoption. So this is awesome to see. So this is what the real wave of crypto gaming is eventually going to be, when you see these big AAA studios integrate their assets, like their skins, their guns, their camos for their weapons, their different types of environmental aspects that will become NFTs. Like there's a lot that these AAA gaming studios are going to unroll, and Ubisoft is taking that first adopter advantage. They're literally the first AAA studio doing things like this inside of their games. And I don't think there's anything like that is what you look for in crypto gaming. When you talk about the massive adoption, this is 100% the moves that we're looking for.
I mean, I think it is 100% the moves that we're looking for. One thing I don't understand is why can't an NFT crypto game look like that? I mean, what's standing in the way between what's between crypto gaming and real gaming that crypto gaming can't look as good as that?
So at this point in time, the games that are going to look as good as this are a couple years out, or that are maybe going to be released late 2022. But right now, this is just because Ubisoft is, 20 years into making AAA titles. They've been making these, hit games from Ghost Recon to, you look at Rainbow Six does awesome, and Assassin's Creed, like I mentioned. Ubisoft has so many titles and just such a diverse history that this studio is not just like getting started, like I mentioned. This is not a startup blockchain gaming studio. This is top of the line.
So this is a big statement by Ubisoft that NFT gaming is the future. I guess they're dipping their toes into the water by launching this, and next for them probably is a full NFT game, right?
Absolutely. They're going to eventually, as they mentioned in a recent announcement, that they'll fully integrate blockchain games in the future.
Okay, now that's the one extreme. The other extreme is you had Steam saying that they're not allowing NFT games. I mean, it's like, what the hell are they thinking?
That's just, I think eventually they're going to have to change that stance. They're going to have to, but right now they're so centralized and they're making so much money off their customers from these items. So the helmets that you were seeing and that weapon that the guy was showing in like the video, that type of stuff is what players are buying in these games right now, but you're not being able to transact them on the blockchain. You're really just giving your money to
a centralized entity.
You're giving your money to a centralized entity that's really just extorting their customers for these assets.
Okay, so that is huge news. Not much we can do to trade that news as Degens. There's no token. There's nothing for us to do. And I guess you know that our audience here they're a bunch of Degens, and they want to degen into tokens. So maybe let's look at the current market and look at the opportunities. Elio started this narrative that when the rest of the market goes down, gaming is not going to be affected. And when the rest of the market went down this week, I saw that gaming actually was affected, and was affected quite badly. Some of the tokens went back 20, 30, 40, 50%.
Yeah, so as far as the gaming not being affected, I see what he's saying, and I do agree with him from the general standpoint. I think that whenever we're seeing market crash, like when the market was dipping like it was, I think that inevitably not many tokens are going to escape that blood. You're going to, not many tokens are going to not, like you're going to get pulled down by that. What I do think is going to benefit in the bear market, whenever that actual bear market comes across, and we are literally bear for a long period of time, play to earn is going to have so much development going on. Game launches, new NFT launches, new projects coming out. more studios getting involved, more metaverse projects, maybe even the Microsofts and the Apples of the world's getting into the metaverse, not just Facebook. So I think that with the amount of development in the next 3 to 5 years, if we hit a bear period, gaming might dip initially, but my theory is it's going to be the first to rise out of the bear.
Exactly, and I think that's what's going to happen. If you look at when the NASDAQ crashed in the late 90s, early 2000s, what happened was everything collapsed, and the ones that recovered were the Amazons, were the Googles, were the Apples of the world. Those were the ones that recovered, and I guess that's what's going to probably happen. Well, all the tokens will probably get some kind of correction, and then the good tokens will actually start moving up.
Yeah, the ones with good utility that are having developments and that are really pushing the narrative and pushing the, like, honestly, the standards. Right now, as you talked about, nothing looks like those Ubisoft games. So eventually there's going to be those games coming into the space that are trying to look like that are full-blown blockchain decentralized games. And that's the real goal. So the games that come across that are pushing those lines, if Star Atlas actually comes out and looks like it did in that trailer, for example, that's going to be pushing the lines for a blockchain game. There's a lot of games right now that once we see the gameplay, we'll really be able to see about that. But I think 3 to 5 years down the line, whenever there's a legit development time to be had, we're going to see really, really good games that set themselves apart and really are going to set the standard for the industry.
All right, so let's look at some news that happened today in the gaming sector. I guess gaming, you could call it, Superfarm, a Coinbase listing and a Huobi listing. The token was up quite a bit. I mean, it says it's only up 5.3% for the day, but if you do look at where it came from, it actually had a much steeper recovery. It was down at $1.06 on Monday, yesterday, and it's now back at 165. That's on the news of the Coinbase and Huobi listing. Any thoughts on Superfarm?
Definitely. I think that so many people fudded Superfarm whenever they really expected a lot up front. And if you look at the all-time chart, it really just declines, and it stayed in a little period that it just really wasn't moving because people really wanted to see developments. But one thing people don't understand is blockchain games take time. NFT projects take time. These projects, if you want to make them good, you're not going to roll them out overnight. So a lot of people really got shaken out of this project, and there was a lot of, FUD because they felt like it wasn't moving. But in my opinion, that was the best time to accumulate it. Now we're looking at, Elio said, now that the Coinbase listing's out of the way, the very next step is the Imposters, their upcoming game, their NFT marketplace, and then gameplay, and then the launch. So really, it's all downhill from here in terms of development and releases, according to Elio.
Yeah, I must say, I've been a Superfarm holder since the beginning. Obviously, I've held because I just believe that you can never take a bet against Elio. And I think that when you're buying into Superfarm, you're buying into much more than a game. You're buying into a gaming studio, number one. You're buying into a gaming launchpad, number two. You're buying into an NFT launchpad. You're buying into, they're doing a partnership with Immutable X. So you're really buying into a full crypto NFT gaming ecosystem. You're not just buying into a token.
They have so much utility, and their partnerships with the Sandbox, Immutable X, they're going to be doing a lot of different things within the metaverse. And as we know, Elio is making a lot of moves within the metaverse. I see Superfarm doing big things.
Yeah, I must say. Next announcement that I saw is MonkeyBall. My advice to MonkeyBall was to delay their launch because I think that there's no, they're such a hyped project that for them to launch into a market that's less than perfect would have been a shame. But they've said in less than 24 hours, MonkeyBall launches the token, December 8th, 3 p.m. UTC. Let the games finally begin. They did make an announcement a few days ago where they said that they partnered up with FTX and Alameda Research. So here we go. Partner spotlight, hitting 100 followers, Alameda Research. This gives me a clue that these guys may do a direct listing onto FTX. Now, in a bad market, which I'm saying now is a bad market, it's not the most hype market, this could be an opportunity for people to get in if they didn't get in on the pre-sale.
Yes, and here's my opinion on this. I think there could be pros and cons to launching in this type of market, and I know you see it probably the same way. I think right now, for a launch in a market in this state, you might not see those gains up front. Maybe it's not as hyped of a launch on the gains that you get on the IDO potentially or on the initial trading. And maybe it does take more of a dip if the market sentiment does continue to be a little bit bearish, at least like short term. I think that if they launch successfully in this state of the market, and then the market for gaming does go parabolic again, the potential for the MonkeyBall token for where it was launched to where it could go could actually create a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, usually normal investors can't get in on IDO. I know a lot of people did get into the Star Launch IDO, but a lot of people didn't get into the Star Launch IDO, and they typically wouldn't have a good opportunity to buy. But if the token comes out in a weak market, now I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, right, but there is a possibility that the token comes out in a slightly weaker market, and that gives an opportunity for people to actually buy it that didn't get into the IDO. We'll have to wait and see. The token launches at 3 p.m. UTC, which is, I don't know what that is in Eastern time, but that's 3 p.m. UTC. And I guess we should be looking to FTX and see where else this token comes out.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the Alameda research, I think you're onto something there. You could probably see a pretty quick listing for MonkeyBall. And it's gotten so much, it's a really popular launch and a lot of hype is on it. I could definitely see it hitting multiple exchanges probably pretty quickly.
Yeah, it'll definitely hit multiple exchanges. Here we go. You see, this is the announcement. They said, MonkeyBalls, we are monkey humbled to announce the backing and support of the top crypto giant SBF FTX, which is Sam Bankman-Fried, and Alameda Research. So, I mean, I don't know. That just says to me that it's going to happen. All right, what else is going on today? What else is going on in the game world? I want to talk to you about whether things are cheap or not cheap, but let's look at some of the stuff that you've been looking at.
Yeah, so as far as cheap and not cheap, I want to talk about one that we've talked about on the channel a couple times, but in my opinion, it's come back down to a level that is going to be a value buy when you're looking at the next run for games and the developments that are coming out for Ultra. Ultra, I've talked about, is the Steam of crypto gaming. I'll share my screen real quick so I can kind of show you a couple of the stats I'm looking at because I have a little bit of market research along with just exactly what they're offering for people that are wanting to launch their blockchain games on Ultra. So right now, I want to talk. So Steam, we've talked about.
Can you zoom in on that? Can you just make just zoom in on your browser so we can see.
So as you can see here, Steam has over 30,000 games in their library, and this Ultra is basically the Steam of blockchain games. Steam is the world's largest distributor of PC games with 75% of the global market share. Steam has ruled out NFT games. This creates a massive opportunity for a platform like Ultra to come in and provide developer incentives for people to come launch on their platform. And you take a look at their distribution fee. So most of these companies are charging about 30% to distribute 30% of your game profits to distribute your game on their platform through Steam, through Google Play, Apple Store. Ultra is offering a 12% distribution fee if you provide a little bit of referral bonus, so other referrals to developers to develop on Ultra. You can get down to a 12% distribution fee. You're also getting that taking advantage of the secondary market. So whenever your game gets resold in the real world, these games aren't making money on that. But through the power of the blockchain, you're going to be able to make money on your games through the secondary market. And Ultra is going to have a lot of discoverability. And ironically, we had Ultra to talk about today on the day that Ubisoft announces Ghost Recon coming out with NFTs, because Ubisoft is partnered with Ultra. So that's a very bullish development overall.
So go ahead. Yeah, so would Ubisoft eventually one day launch games on Ultra? Is that why you think Ubisoft made that partnership?
Yes, I do think so. I think that they'll have their own NFT system within their game, but I think that distribution-wise, I could definitely see Ultra being that go-to for a studio like Ubisoft. And there's really no other way. There's no other reason for them to make that partnership at the end of the day.
I agree. Ultra, let's look at the performance of Ultra. I'm going to quote off the chart on my side. Okay, so I think what I want to see here is how far back has the Ultra token taken us with this correction. Let's have a look. So Ultra is now trading at 154. Let's go back and just see relative to the highs where we're buying it. So the highs were at 246, and that was on the 25th of November. Ultra is now trading at 164. So that's quite a significant pullback. That's about a
33%. Yeah.
33% pullback.
Yeah.
And it's taken you back again. I mean, this market's gone back about 2 weeks. So this whole correction has basically taken the market back 2 weeks. We're back to where we were 2 weeks ago. 163 is where Ultra was 2 weeks ago. Cheap or not cheap?
I think it's cheap. When you take a look, all things considered, Ultra, regardless, they already have over 20 titles signed to launch on Ultra. And this is early stages. They just came out with their stage 2 beta app. their interface looks super clean. If you want, I can pull my screen back up and show you the demo of their what their game marketplace is gonna look like here. So we'll open this up, and it's Twitter video, so it might not be the best quality, but you'll see kind of just the way that the navigation is going to feel, and you're going to be able to either use your UOS tokens on the platform, or you can actually use your credit card like you can on a lot of gaming platforms on their on Ultra. And they already have 20 plus titles signed to their platform, over 5 development studios, indie game studios, etc. And they're announcing new games every day. This is going to have a lot of traffic. And when you're talking about a project with a scope, this is not one game. This is not one layer of like the gaming ecosystem. They're going to have an NFT marketplace. They're going to have a game marketplace. They're going to have a mining system where you can use your GPU on your gaming. So gamers have high capability PCs. You'll be able to use that to mine the UOS token. There's a lot that's going to be going on within the UOS ecosystem. And just whenever you're looking at the landscape of it, they're going to be launching a ton of games, and it's just way beyond the scope of one game.
Yeah, so I guess for anyone who, I mean, if you want to take real risk, invest in a game. Put your money into a game. The game may work, the game may not work. But if you want to take less risk, invest in the exchanges, or the picks and shovels. You know, in the gold rush, the people that make money are the people that provide or sell the picks and shovels. And in this case, by going to Ultra, you're actually taking an option on multiple games. Are there any platforms right now that can compete with Ultra in a blockchain gaming launchpad, in the blockchain gaming launchpad sphere? So, like, you know, with exchanges, usually one or two of them really get network effect. So you know, like Uniswap got network effect. SushiSwap is leagues under it. You know, on Solana you've got Radium, for example, or you know, and then you've got all the other ones below that. Is there any launchpad for games, NFT type games, which could be considered as the second place?
Like a competitor to Ultra.
Yeah.
I would say Gala Games is going to be launching multiple games, but that's not their main priority. Their main priority is not game distribution. They're a gaming studio. They're building their own games. Another one, centralization. That's the competition is centralization.
Which is not competition.
No, in my opinion, the best projects within DeFi come from the people within DeFi. So
exactly,
in my opinion, as long as decentralization trumps all in the end, I don't see Ultra really having a major competitor other than Gala Games, but that's not their main priority.
Yeah, I mean, I must say, this is like buying an exchange. You know, you got to pick your own entry points here. I mean, if you think it's cheap now, Hustle thinks it's cheap now. It is cheaper than it was certainly a week ago, but it's only taken us back all the way. It's taken us back 2 weeks. But I guess if you're buying this long term, and right now there's no competitor to this, and we know that this is a business model that is proven in Web 2.0, then you kind of have to get into the business model in Web 3.0. And we know that the ones that get the network effect up front, it's very difficult to break the network effect.
Yeah, I agree. And they're getting the support of Advanced Micro Devices, a Fortune 500 company, Atari, The Sandbox, Ubisoft, Theta, Elrond. It all lines up for me. I think Ultra is going to be massive in the future. Cool.
Let's look at some other ones.
Yeah, I want to talk about some upcoming IGOs. I know we want to always keep our eyes out on what is coming up. And in my opinion, these are projects that I really think could do really well on their launches. And we're taking a look at the blockchain gaming space. There's not a lot of first-person shooters. There's not a lot of action games. There's not a lot of games that are like fun, engaging combat games. First-person shooters are one of the biggest games in the world. So Metastrike is a first-person shooter, free-to-play, play-to-earn with in-game NFTs. And on top of all of this, it has a very unique system. When you play these first-person shooters, a big deal is the map, whatever the map and the environment you're playing on. In Metastrike, you're going to be able to build your own maps and earn off your maps when they're played on. So there's a lot of elements to Metastrike, in my opinion, and as you mentioned, we've talked about, nothing looks quite like those Ghost Recon games. But when
this
you're looking,
good.
Yeah, this looks really good. And Metastrike, I think, is going to do really well on launch. And you can make your own maps and earn off of your maps. I really like that concept because a lot of people's complaints about games is the maps get old. So what about the concept of being able to literally construct the world around you? So I love that.
Okay, wow, sure. And that's launching when?
This is IDOing in 10 days. This will be on the 17th of December.
Which launchpad?
This is on Seedify. So you see here Metastrike on Seedify, blockchain-based role-playing first-person shooter metaverse game built on Unreal Engine.
Okay, I've got to get my hands onto some Metastrike, that's for sure.
And then we talked about Sidus yesterday. So make sure you have your eyes out for Sidus too, Rand.
Sidus I'm invested in. Metastrike, I've got to see if I'm invested in. I like Metastrike. And
Yeah.
if not, I do stake on Seedify. So, I mean, I must say, I think the Seedify and GameFi launchpads, I mean, money for jam. If you've got enough tokens and you can stake them and you can participate in IDOs, just scroll up and down there. Look how many IDOs are coming out on Seedify.
Right. Yeah. They have so many. And a lot of these are really good projects. Mouse Hunt has a lot of hype behind it. Metastrike, Sidus, Spark Era's got a good following behind them. Last Survivor looks pretty solid. So Seedify, I mean, if you're participating in these launches right here, you're making an absolute killing.
Yeah. The Seedify token, I was watching it, relatively untouched. I mean, let me quickly just show it to you. Relatively unscathed in this whole thing. And I mean, that's for me the sign of a really strong token. So it's trading at $15 now. Let's just take it back 90 days. The all-time high was $16.16. So you're talking about like
that is crazy.
That is crazy.
Strength.
But that shows the power of a strong. That shows the power of a strong project. That shows the power of a strong project.
Yeah, that's really strength, and that shows the power of their launches. People are not selling this token; they're keeping those tokens in staked and making sure they're getting in on those IGOs. So yeah, that
I must say that the IG that like when I think to myself of potentially selling my Seedify tokens, every time I do that, I think about how much money I'm actually making in the IDOs, and then it doesn't make sense.
Like, how much money would you lose actually if you took your money out?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's why you kind of stuck. You don't want to sell the token because you're making so much money on the actual IDOs. It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. And then another one, you've talked about this one, and this could be the last thing we talk about. Decimated. Theirs will be in December. It's on Firestarter. You take a look at Decimated. Their big focus, and I love this. They've been working on this game since 2018. They really preach that this game is not hype. This game, they're not trying to oversell you. They're just showing you exactly what the project is. And in my opinion, for gamers out there, this looks like a futuristic, more fast-paced version of the Xbox 360 hit game Mass Effect. Mass Effect was huge back in the day. This gives me those type of feels and vibes, and the movement, the combat. It looks awesome.
Wow. I mean, I must say, I take back what I said about blockchain game because this actually looks pretty cool.
Decimated looks really good. I think as far as a game goes, this is maybe one of the best looking products as far as the game goes across the space at this moment.
Wow, unbelievable. And when does Decimated launch?
They haven't announced the official launchpad date, but it will be on the Firestarter launchpad in December, they said. No doubt about it.
Yeah, Firestarter also very, very, very strong launchpad. I mean, we've had I mean, it's a pretty much one of the newer launchpads, but an unbelievable launchpad with great projects coming up.
Yeah, you take a look at their upcoming projects, and Decimated here coming soon. So that's what we're kind of waiting on.
Good guys. Actually, I've had some good talks to them. Very, very, very cool guys. Very cool projects.
Yeah, I agree. Firestarter, Seedify, GameFi, awesome launchpads.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be, if you want to be in the game, you got to get yourself some launchpad tokens. That's pretty much the only way to get in.
If you want to be early in the game.
Exactly. Hustle, brother, it's been amazing. We'll see you again tomorrow. Another in-the-game show, another successful in-the-game show.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I enjoy the banter, as always, with you, Rand. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Banter fam, y'all enjoy your afternoon.
We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, play well, my friends. Great show, bro.
Absolutely.
Super fun.
As always, love getting into it with you.
Yeah, it's great, bro. Brother, man, we will see you tomorrow.
Yep, I will be back tomorrow as always. Are you joining me tomorrow or no?
I may. I'll let you know during the day.
Sounds good. I'll